Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Thank you very much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 807. Well, today we've got an amazing interview with a young lady who started showing rabbits when she was 6 years old. She has taken that all over the country at this point as a senior in high school in the FFA and has even sold rabbits to multiple countries in Asia. Really amazing story. And then when you hear what she's doing in college, what she wants to do for her profession after high school, and what inspired her to do that, well, that's just a great part of the story as well. We're going to get that started for you right now. Joining me today is Jacey Royer, and she is coming to us from the Byron area high school FFA chapter, and she's currently, I think she's the first FFA student I've interviewed who is on lockdown from the coronavirus. So, Jacey, thank you so much for coming on today. Are we talking to you from your house?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being willing to come on and to do the interview. And, how long have you been out of school?
For about a week now.
For about a week, okay. And we're airing this, everybody, actually on April 22nd, but we're doing the interview in late March, so this is pretty new. By the time Jacey's interview comes out, who knows what will be going on, but you've been out for a week now.
Yes.
Okay. So now, what's your school doing? Are they making you keep up with schoolwork, or are they saying we can't provide it to you at home, so you just have a week off? I mean, how is this all working?
So we are shut down for 3 weeks, so we do not go back until April 14th. I am from a very small rural town, so we do not really have all the equipment to go online. But for me, most of my classes are already online through a community college in Michigan. So my work is still all online.
Got it. So you're still able to keep going. And then what about FFA activities? Is that completely shut down as well, or are you somehow able to keep going with FFA stuff?
Sadly, our FFA activities have been shut down as well. They shut down the Michigan State Skills Contest in April, as well as our only one of our only fundraisers was scheduled for March, and that had to be canceled as well. So,
and had Michigan had its state convention already, or was that still coming up as well?
No, we already had our state convention prior to all this, so that was good.
Yeah, so at least that part got done. Yeah, interesting. Well, it's interesting times, and so they've told you until did you say the 18th of April or something like that?
Yeah, on the 14th.
On the 14th. So actually, by the time your episode comes out, this supposedly will be over. You could be back in school unless it gets extended.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Well, these are interesting times, and so what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied while you're home from school?
I have been preparing to get my animals for fair this year, as well as, taking care of my regular animals that I have, and keeping up with my schoolwork as well.
Got it. Yeah, if you've got animals and you've got livestock and some room to walk around, it makes it a little bit easier to get through the day with outside of your normal routine, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. Well, so let's do this. I'd love to ask you just a little bit more about yourself. Do you live on a farm or something kind of in between that and being in town?
I live in a farm. We live in a very small community, so it's very rural.
And is livestock the principal form of farming you're doing there on your place, or are there row crops as well?
We have a couple of hay fields, and we grow some soybeans, but we mostly just have some animals. We don't have like a big industrial farm. We have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you've got the smaller working farm, kind of like I have out here in Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Now, how long have you been part of the FFA?
I've been part of the FFA since I first went to middle school in 6th grade.
Oh man, 6th grade. That's an early start. What brought you into the group so soon?
Well, they started offering it to us when we first went into 6th grade, and my mom just kind of pushed me into it because she was like, "Oh, you'll enjoy it," but I wasn't totally sure because I was like, I live on a farm. Why do I want to, do this?
Right.
But then once you kind of learn what it's all about, you kind of realize, like, oh, it's not like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ended up really enjoying it, and I've stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, very good. So, man, for a senior in high school, you're on your this will be your 7th year of FFA then, as a senior in high school.
Yeah.
That's a record for me. I don't think I've interviewed anybody who's been doing it longer than you at their senior year in high school. That's pretty incredible. So, along the way, what have been some of your favorite things to do in the FFA? Has it been your SAEs? Has it been CDE competitions or something different?
I really enjoy doing the leadership contest for me because I used to be very shy and I was not one to speak out for myself. And so once I kind of got to that space, I really enjoyed doing parliamentary procedure and because I loved doing debates. And so that was probably my favorite thing to do once I got the, courage to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The parliamentary procedure is interesting. I've watched those competitions, and they move so fast, and you have to know so much. What draws you into that? Why do you like that so much?
Because I also did ag issues one year, and I just loved the Parley Pro way more because it's all thinking off the top of your head. You don't get time to prepare really, and so that's what separates you from other competitions. It's not who could because you can't have someone write it for you while you're in there. You have to come up with it off the top of your head, and it comes up with a lot. There's a lot you have to do behind the scenes, and I really enjoy the debating, like I said, because I'm a very debatable. I like to debate.
Okay.
And so that was my favorite part of it.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, well, very good. That is great. Well, let's acknowledge who your FFA advisor has been throughout these last 7 years, or maybe you've had more than one. I'd love to let everybody know who those folks are.
My advisor is Mr. Tate Forbush. He is a great FFA advisor. He has done so much for us over the years, and I cannot thank him enough. He just got his American degree, too, down at Indianapolis Convention this year, so that was really cool to be able to watch him get to go on stage.
Ah, it is.
And so he's been around for a while. His brother is the state advisor. He's from all of his family are ag advisors as well. His daughter and that, they make up our whole region, so it's really cool. And they do a lot for the FFA organization up here in Michigan, so...
Oh, that's great. What a thrill to see him go across the stage and receive that. So has he been your advisor for the entire 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's rare. I don't know of anywhere else in education that you develop a relationship with a teacher that lasts so long and you work so closely with like you do in the FFA. But for you, for 7 years with the same instructor, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. He's done a lot.
Yeah, that is great. Well, I want to take a moment here, Jacey, just to acknowledge a couple of our sponsors. Everybody, of course, I want to talk about Lacrosse Footwear. You can find them over at lacrossefootwear.com. Just absolutely fantastic neoprene-based rubber boots, plus a lot of other footwear for all of your different needs. We use the Alpha Range boots here on our farm in Idaho, and we hope you'll be putting a pair of those on your feet as well. I always love to mention during my FFA episodes that Lacrosse Footwear has been and is proud to support the FFA by annually sponsoring 15 scholarships along with 100 jackets as part of the Give the Gift of Blue program. So everybody check them out. You can find them at lacrossefootwear.com. And of course, Powder River Livestock Handling Equipment. Man, just the finest in cattle handling equipment, squeeze chutes, runways, sweep tubs, whatever it is you need to handle your large livestock. Powder River makes it, and they make the best that is out there. Minimize that stress, minimize any chance for injury, and get the job done as efficiently and safely as possible. Check them out at powderriver.com. All right, well, Jacey, let's talk about your supervised agricultural experience. So what is it that you've been doing?
I have several. I raise several. I do 2 county fairs over here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I raise, pigs and sheep and turkeys and all that for there. But I mainly have my small animal proficiency and I ended up winning the state for that because I show rabbits nationally. I've been doing that for about 10 years now, maybe going on to 11.
Interesting. How'd you get started with rabbits?
Well, in our county fair, you're not allowed to show animals until you were 10. And I wanted to show at the fair, and my neighbor ended up showing rabbits in the American Rabbit Breeders Association. So they got me into it, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Okay. How old were you when you began?
I was 6.
You were 6. And you knew at that point in time you wanted to start showing animals.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you had 4 years to wait until you could do it at the fair, I'm assuming through the 4-H?
Yeah.
But you could start right now doing it through the Rabbit Breeders Association.
Yes. The only rule is that you have to be able to put your own animals on the table.
Okay.
I need a little help from a step stool, but I could do it. But
so lifting the rabbit was not the problem, just reaching the table was.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. But I've been doing that ever since, and that's my main SAE. I ended up getting a national gold on my proficiency for that, and so that was really cool.
That is cool. So you've been doing this now 11 years. That's well over a decade. That's a long time. So you've obviously developed some expertise and you know the rabbit business.
Yeah, I do. I have a good amount of knowledge there.
Well,
it's actually a very big industry, and which surprises a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because you don't really think about it, because you go to the pet store and you can buy like a rabbit for $25, but then you get into this, and I spent too much money on rabbits to the point where it is not healthy. But it's actually a really big industry down in Indianapolis. Like, we have a big convention in Nevada this year. I think there was like 21,000 rabbits there.
Wow.
This year. And that wasn't even a very big one. That was a small one. So it gets really big.
Yeah. And you went all the way to Nevada for that convention?
Yeah, it's allowed me to travel all over the United States. I mean, I have not hit every state yet, of course, but that's the goal eventually. But I've been to Texas and Massachusetts and all those, and it's been a great experience for me as a kid to be able to go and travel like that.
Very cool. Now, is this a business for you as well, or is it strictly showing?
It's a business for me as well. I grew up in a family where you are to be financially dependent, so we pay for all our animals.
Okay.
You got like a budget starting out, so like I got $100 to start like showing, and I just had to be safe from there. I mean, my parents, of course, helped me along the way, because me as a 6-year-old, I don't know how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
But, I am now to the point where I am, financially responsible for all my decisions I make. And so I got to make sure that I am selling enough, as well as, having stuff to show to keep my, name up there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that goes into it. And the rest is not as cheap as you think. But
so how does the business work? Are you selling rabbits to other people who want to show? Are you selling rabbits for meat production? You doing a little bit of both?
So there's 50 different types of rabbits almost.
And
so not all breeds of rabbits are meant for meat. Mine personally only get to 4 pounds, so there's not much to them. And so mine do not go for meat. I sell them for pets, for kids. I have 4-H people who buy them from me. And then there's, the breeders, they'll buy breeding stock from you. People buy show rabbits if they want to show one. I've had people buy from me over in Malaysia and Japan and Indonesia and all that.
Wow.
It's just crazy.
That is crazy. How did somebody in Malaysia find out about your particular rabbits?
So for me, being around as long as I have, I've actually had a lot of success in the industry, which is super awesome for me. I'm very proud of that, but it gets you a lot of recognition across the, in the Rabbit Breeders Association. And most countries don't have an established one yet, and they're trying to get there. So like China, and they have shows, but they're not as big. So a lot of those types of like other countries will come over here, and they will buy rabbits from breeders over here to get the good quality, so they can start implementing it over there into their herds. And with us, like, we have magazines and everything. I've been in several national magazines and that, and so each breed has a magazine. So it's fairly easy for them to find us in that.
Wow, very cool. That is impressive. And so you started when you're 6 years old. The Rabbit Breeders Association progressed into the 4-H, then into the FFA, and that's taken you all the way up to winning a gold award at the national level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is incredible. Now, you said that you're currently taking community college classes while you're still in high school. What are you studying at the community college level?
Right now I am just taking my regular classes to get my basics done. But the plan is to go into a major in biochem and a minor in nursing to become a pathologist assistant. So.
Wow. How did you identify that career?
My grandpa passed away when I was about 15, and I always knew that I wanted to do something with science, and I wanted to go into either the medical field or into the biological field. And from then, because he died from an undiagnosed issue, I realized that's what I wanted to do to help so people don't go undiagnosed and have to go through that. And he actually donated his body to science so other people don't have to go through what he did. And so that's kind of what has inspired me to become a pathologist assistant.
Oh, wow. Well, that is a great story. So, you hate to lose somebody, but you're taking that loss and you're turning it into something positive going forward. Oh, good for you. That is wonderful. So the type of classes you're taking, I could not pass those today, let alone when I was a senior in high school. You must be very good as a student.
Yeah, I have pretty good grades.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It gets very stressful, but
I'm sure.
I've managed over the years.
So when you graduate high school here, coming up in a couple months, depending on how all this... I mean, I know you're going to graduate. I just don't know how it's all going to look. This has never happened before. But when you do graduate, then what is the next step for you? Is it more classes at the community college, or are you going to be transferring those credits to a 4-year university? What are you going to be doing?
With the program I'm in, I get another year of college for free. I started college in my junior year, and I get another free year through the school, so I'll have 44 free credits by the time I am done with the program, and it will all be paid for by the school. So it's very nice, and it's a great start.
What is the program in which you get this all paid for? That's great.
It's just a 5th-year program through the school. There's several community colleges in Michigan that offer them, and it's a great program for the students.
Yeah, in a day and age when people are trying to figure out how to pay for college, for you to get a year of it paid for like that is a great deal. Well, good for you. That is great. Well, Jacey, this is fascinating. What you're doing with rabbits is incredible, but what you're going to do with your career is equally as incredible. I want to take a moment while we've got you and just ask your advice for students in the future. If there's a student out there who they're getting started, they want to show an animal, and they're looking at options, and one of the only options they see available to them is rabbits, what advice would you have for them for being able to take it to the level that you've taken it to?
It's just sticking with it. I mean, it takes a lot of work to get where you, it took me a lot of work to get to where I am, but I also had to choose one of the hardest breeds. But if you just stick with it, it's not as bad. And then it's a great community. The people are so nice. If you find the right people, they will help you. I have met so many great people along the way that I could not have the herd I do today without their help. And I am forever grateful for that. And I cannot imagine being where I am without the experiences I have had through showing my rabbits, because it has given me the chance to go so many places and meet so many new people, and I love doing it. So
That is great. Well, Jacey, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with us today. And hey, best of luck to you.
Oh, you're welcome. And best of luck to you too.
Well, thank you for being here, everybody. Really appreciate you joining us. Special thanks to Jacey Royer for coming on the Off-Farm Income Podcast today. And as always, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.